It's the 10th of October, 2017. We come home, the first thing we realize is there's been a wreck again. Rainy day. Luckily, from what we've been informed, she's okay. The car, apparently not so much. So, it's one of those things. Our area, our little hill, happens to be a fantastic spot to crash your car, it would appear. Although normally they crash them the other direction. This is the first time they were going that direction and crashing. Oh, by the way, I just gestured using a book. You don't know what book it is? I got my Tal'Dorei campaign guide in today. I'll be flipping through this, although, who knows, maybe someday I'll be brave enough to actually use it instead of just read it as a fan. Who knows? All of earlier stuff, I totally forgot to tell you guys that my D&D got canceled tonight. It's going to be canceled tomorrow. Nah. Take two. One take snaps. It's going to be canceled next week, too. So I'm going to have a couple of weeks of no D&D. Mind you, next week on that weekend, I should be doing my monthly one, so that ought to make up for it at least. But it's been canceled for tonight. Ironic, given what came in the mail, right? So we got to watch the latest Dancing with the Stars episode. It was their Memories episode, and oh man, the amount of times I cried during that episode. It was just, hit you right there. They really danced with their souls on that one. It's the 11th of October, 2017, and ending my day off after work with a good walk. Started getting back on these on Monday. Starting to get that fall area thing to it. Plus, if I'm perfectly honest, we were just slacking off anyway. And no specific person's fault either. It was just one of those, we were slacking. So, back at it. Need to be back at it. I had a little scare moment that especially made me need to get back at it, but it was stupid. It really was. I had problems getting my pants on the other morning. And then I do it this morning, and it was perfectly fine, so... And it was the same pair of pants I tried, too, so go figure that one out. Your body goes in and out so much, you barely figure stuff out. But, hey, still did a job, even if it wasn't intended to do a job. So, my meditation tonight was interesting. She was having us focus on our wanting mind, as it were, because we're still focusing on the not stealing aspect, which has been expanded in ways I wouldn't necessarily think of that might even inspire a Samuel's Thoughts talk. But anyway, not against what she's saying, far from it, actually. It's just fascinating. I've never thought of it that way before. Anyway, so, expanding into the wanting mind and everything, she also said maybe there's something you're trying to push away. And that's when it slammed into me. I might have been having a moment. I was having one of my mini panics, just over something. I have them from time to time. You could almost call them a panic attack, but it's so tiny and everything, it just doesn't last long enough for it to be one, I suppose. Or I guess, depending on your definition of panic attack, it might be one. I don't know. I've not looked up if there's supposed to be an amount of time. It's just such a flash-in-the-pan thing for me that I usually don't get too about it. But anyway, I was kind of pushing the after effects of one of those away, and it sort of sunk in, as it were, and my focus became razor sharp. My mini panics have been the culprit of some of my worst moments that the people that follow me have ever seen. My mini panics are involved in moments such as the moment I had with Jacob years ago at DragonCon that a couple of trolls leached onto. That's one big example that most people will be able to remember. And like I said, anytime a mini panic happens, usually for me it gets settled. Like in the case of that one with me and him, we talked about it, we had a decent conversation as human beings, and it was done for us. It was just some fans that decided not to make it done, as it were. And it took a lecture from him for them to stop that. But anyway, that's old history. Point is that these mini panics sometimes cause some horrible social situations that I have to deal with. And I wasn't having one of those, per se, but what it was that I totally sunk into that emotion and totally observed it. I've never cried during a meditation. I did tonight. It's quite fascinating, actually. Instead of me just pushing that emotion away like I normally do and sweeping it under a rug, I took the time to observe it. And it's going to make things interesting the next time I have one of those. Just saying. Might have helped out a bit. Anyway, it's 11 minutes after 9, and I got to go to bed. 4 a.m. happens early, so, as usual, good night, everybody. It's the 14th of October, 2017, and, well, one thing that has to happen this morning is this has to go. Because I am going to a gathering of people today. They're doing sort of a Halloween board game day, so I am going to be cosplaying. And since I am, of course, cross-playing, guess what? I mean, okay, fair dues. You could crossplay someone and have facial hair because you're cross-playing, so you're doing a male version of it, but in this case, I don't think that person would keep facial hair. So, yeah. I'm not gonna do that, as it were. So I'm gonna get a full-fledged shave instead of doing it myself, because sometimes spots get missed and stuff like that. I'm gonna ask Mom to do it, because she's always good about, it's like, I don't have her do it all the dang time. I can shave my own dang self, but having someone else do it gets all the spots and details and stuff like that, and makes for a more efficient shave for look-wise. So yeah. Also, as I look at the spam of my website as I'm about to put the Skyrim up, I'm pretty sure some government organization is now trying to use my comments to pass along messages. I'm being tongue-in-cheek, of course. But, I mean, those old radio channels that have nothing but numbers and letters just robotically said over and over and over? That's what I thought of when I got a look at this. Look at this. Just, let me focus here. There we go. Look at this. Just a bunch of, that makes it feel like it's one of those government things, but, you gotta kind of read it in that voice in your head, but that's sort of the crap I thought of anyway. It's like, what the heck are you even doing anymore? I just get a bunch of spam like this now since, Livefire. I think that was the name of the comment system. Honestly, it's been months ago. But anyway, the comment system I was using, since it died, yeah. And I haven't found anyone that has updated itself with any frequency to where I'm kind of comfortable using it on my website. Disqus is out there, and I think even big websites use that. I might switch to Disqus, to be honest, but just one of those decision things. I've got a couple of other things I need to do with my website, too. I did a platform course on WordPress installations, and they gave me a couple of other nice tips that I need to implement. I just haven't gotten around to it. Not that I don't have time. I know better. I do have time. It's just I haven't chose to use my time on that yet. So. By the way, those snaps let you know who I was. Yep, I'm Ramona Flowers. Hold on a second, and I will get you a proper picture of this get-up. There you go. But anyway, now that I got that to you guys, I am going to change out of this thing because I've been in it for pretty much most of the day, and whew, it comes that part of a cosplayer's journey where they get to take the outfit off and just relax and become themselves again. But this one was a blast. By the way, I was the only person that dressed up at the gathering I was at, but hey, I'm the cosplayer of the group, so yeah, I'm kind of known for that sort of thing. Now I'm back to normal. I'm out here in the studio because I'm just going to spend some time gaming, I think, just to wrap the night up, as it were. Just to relax. Not gonna lie, I played Heroes tonight, which I just played the Brawl, just finished it, which got me, it lubed up my rusty joints when it came to Heroes. But my not gonna lie observation was that the Overwatch Halloween event might be one of my favorite things that I've gotten out of Blizzard so far. It's so freaking hilarious. I wasn't part of the first one, mind you. I've just gotten Overwatch, which is kind of an advantage for me because I'm low level, so I'm getting these loot boxes at a nice rate. So there's that. But I've already gotten a couple of skins and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty much. I'm enjoying this. Just the whole Junkenstein thing and the waves of enemies gameplay was fantastic. Reminded me of my old Call of Duty Zombies days that I used to do with my friends. Over at Michael's house, he's been on the network, so I can talk about that. But yeah, over at Michael's house, we used to do that all the dang time.